Well, that just happened. If you were to tell me that Eren's head exploding off his body wasn't going to be the craziest thing I saw in an episode of Attack on Titan, I'd be like, I don't believe you. You shut up right now. But here we are. Oh boy. All right. So first up, we've got the Beastie Boy, old Beastie. He's like, I'm going to do my Raw. It's happening. Let's summon these Titans. And I'm like, I feel like this is too early. We're 3 episodes into part 2. Like, this is far too early. And then Falco rocks up and it's like, Falco, you son of a bitch. Like, he's gonna postpone it for, an episode or two, do all these things. And he's like, oh, brother, I understand. Oh, so it's a shame. Run! Oh boy! That moment of just like, of all the just Titans erupting, and the original, like that OG kind of dun 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 music just coming in, oh boy. You'd think after 4 seasons that you'd get just, that shock and horror of seeing a bunch of giant naked Titans just go and just chase around a bunch of people, just terrifying, gnawing and screams. You'd think you'd get over it. You think it would be less effective at a certain point. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. One of the most horrifying sequences so far. It's like one of those things where it's like, they set it up. It's Chekhov's gun. We're gonna see this happen. I don't know. Something was like, yeah, but they'll keep, it will be very late in the game. And I know we're in the end game. I know this is the end of the final season, part 2, but oh boy, it still feels very early. Like the first 2 episodes, fighting, action, all this amazing stuff. But this episode was like, hold my fucking beer, mate. Old man picks this when he's got the drink and you just see in his eyes and he realizes what's happening. It's just like, Reiner's crying about Falco and this guy and that guy and all that craziness is happening. And I'm just like, you made your bed, Reiner. I don't have any sympathy for all these. I don't care about any of them. Picks this, having that last drink. I'm just like, oh, my boy. So we get this amazing moment with Reiner where he thinks the Beast Titan's dead and it's all done. And he's like, I can stop now. It's all good. And all at first he's like, oh no, I'm going to have to kill Falco. And then he's like, no, Falco can kill me. And he's like, I can let the hardening go away and he can just eat my nape and that'll be that. And I'm done. Terrifying that Reiner has now gotten to that point where he's just like, I'm good, just bloody, yeah. Once this battle's done, I'm done. I don't want to live past this battle. It's like, heavy stuff, mate. That incredible moment where he goes to punch Eren hardens up, and then just a little, and he starts running, all the epic music, all the main characters come in, they're shooting their rocket things, it's all exploding, and you just see the run, you're like, he's gonna do it. And already, I'm so excited and just like lost in the moment again, that I forgot that when he went to go and do the scream, Eren was like, no, wait. Little sus, get to that. And he's running, and I'm just like, God damn, this show is so fun and exciting. I can't wait. It's so... Okay. Why is it slowed down in slow-mo? Why are we just get... No, I don't like how serious... I don't like how this is being framed. Then just... Bang. I can't believe they did it. I mean, fool me once. Fool me twice. But still, just that moment of just Eren's head it's just so over the top, so violent, so horrific. His head's just spinning and spinning. It's just like, what? But then, of course, the Beast Titan's just like, he's got their head in his hand. He's like, oh, we're touching. And then suddenly, magical, ethereal world of just whatever they call it, the convergence of the pathways or whatever he said. Sands, deserty blue sands going out to like as far as the eye can see is this giant tree of like light and power of shimmery otherworldliness. My God, it was so cool. It was so amazing. I love how simplistic it felt. I loved the chains and him standing there. He's got a beard, he's all haggard, and Eren's just standing there, head attached to his body, just been like, what the hell's this place? This show is so good at doing the big flying action, the Titans running about, the horrors of war, the carnage, all those things. But it also is just so good. So good for a show that sets up like the potential of storylines and arcs. But then you need to have some guy stand there, chained up, being like, so that's the founder Yimmy, and this is what the historian, this is all the mythology, and and it's just expository dialogue. And like, somehow this show pulls it off. Somehow we can have 2.5 episodes, just action, craziness, violence, bang, bang, titans eating each other, and then suddenly we've just got two men, opposing ideologies, sitting in a otherworldly dimension, whatever you want to call it, sand dune, just standing there having a face off, and it's just so good. It's some of the best stuff in Titan we've got for so long. Like, it's just so exciting. It was like edge of your seat, just like, oh my god. And then finally, I mean, that little moment earlier in the episode, and just something's felt off about just the way they've been presenting everything in the first part of season 4, where it was like, this can make sense to do this, because it's like, all right, I'll accept that we haven't seen Eren for a while, so he's gone off the deep end. And I kind of love that. But you know what I love more than evil Eren? The Eren that I grew up with for seasons 1 to 3. That Eren. It's the guy who's like, Zeke, I like that plan. Oh, actually, by that I mean, fuck you, Zeke. You're a monster. That's insane. No way am I euthanasiaing everyone, you psychopath. And that's exactly what he says. He's like, actually, it was all a plan, and I've got the power now. Walks up, Founder Yimmy. Take my hand, let's do this, baby. And then she just, that moment, just when she walks past, it's just like, oh boy. Zeke rising up, ripping the chains off, so we get the double cross. Then we get the other double cross, where Zeke kind of knew that Eren wasn't in on it, and it's just, and they have that flashback earlier when they both are there, and you're kind of setting up that it's not going to work out, and maybe he's kind of felt that the whole time, and I think that's kind of weird symbolic kind of thing, where he's like, catch the baseball in the flashback. And he's like, oh, I dropped it. I couldn't catch it. I was like, could Eren just not even catch it? Because he's like, oh, I'm not on board with it. This is all cooked. Was it like sneaking in through that, you know? His subconscious not being able to catch that baseball. And Zeke just being like, I don't know. Really great stuff. Loved it. Just love how heartbroken he is. He's like crying. He's like, no! Father's brainwashed you! No! And just, The episode's called Two Brothers, and we get the two brothers betraying each other. Other brothers dying and eating, and just, oh my lord, it was just so exciting, so amazing. And that moment where he's like, you're just a key, Eren. And they touch, the lights goes, and it's like, to be continued. And like pretty much every episode of this show, which shows you just how good it is. As soon as it ends, all I want to do is watch the next episode, and I cannot wait for next week. It was so exciting. This could be one of the best episodes of the show. I loved every single second of it. Oh my lord, so very, very good. Next week's gonna be crazy. I love that this show kind of left us between part 1 and part 2 of season 4, being like, Eren's a bad guy. He's just gone off the deep end, and there was like no signs. Like the things he said to Mikasa were so like, oh, how dare you, Eren? It was just like shocking and heartbreaking and amazing stuff. I was just like, all right, well, this is who he is now. I guess that's fair. But then right at the start, Armin is like, no, it can't possibly be this, And I'm like, oh, I think maybe Armin's just, holding on to the hope of his friend who he used to be. But then this episode coming around and being like, no. Eren's the Eren that you've grown up with since episode 1. And I love the twists and the turns. Somehow they just get you in. Like, I don't know. I'd be curious if everyone else is like, oh no, I totally saw this coming. Comic book, manga guys, don't spoil anything, obviously. But just, poor boy. Oh my lord. It's so giddy from excitement to see Eren come back, and he's like, whoa, I'm actually the good guy. Me and you, Beastie, we're gonna have another duel. And it's just exciting, because from what, like, as soon as the Beast guy arrived, like, on the scene at the end of that season, just rocking up in like, I talk and I'm a hairy ape one. It was just like, who is this guy? And oh my lord. And everything that's kind of transpired within him and Eren, and then being like, okay, I guess they're gonna buddy up. But no, I really like them being antagonistic against each other again. Just, very exciting stuff. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all the things. Let me know what you think's gonna happen. The rumbling, it's gonna happen really soon. It's really soon, I think.